Hi, I'm C.C. Péan, and this is Reclaiming Your Health. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Reclaiming Your Health. I am your chef, your resident chef, Chef C.C. Péan. I am so happy you joined me this evening. I'm beaming. I just love doing this with you all. You know why? It's because I'm teaching you, I'm giving you information, and in the process, I'm learning as well because I'm always researching while I'm developing these recipes. This is a brain health series, so I want to make sure that the ingredients that I'm using actually do promote brain health and things like that. You never stop learning. So thank you for giving me an opportunity to meet with you every week and share my knowledge and increase yours. So this evening, we are going to do a delicious dish. This actually was inspired by my husband because he recently has decided to eat more raw vegan. Food as close to its natural source. You guys you've heard me say that ad nauseum. Food as close to its natural source is the best food for you. Food that is the most unmessed around with is the best for you. One of the things that we are suffering from in this country is we have gotten so used to convenient foods that, processed and packaged foods are the things we'll jump to and we'll eat before we'll pick up an apple, an orange, grapes, or something like that. And so part of what I try to do with this show is to encourage you to eat things closer to its natural state and play with it. Eat the rainbow. Eat the rainbow, okay? You will never be dissatisfied with eating the rainbow. It may take some time for your taste buds to adjust. If you're somebody who's used to eating a lot of preservative-packed foods, if you're used to super salty things, if you're used to super sweet things, it may take you some time to adjust, but it can happen because in a matter of days, I believe it's 7 days, your taste buds regenerate. So what that means is the more you're eating pure food, the more you're going to crave it. You're not going to be pulled towards those super sweet, super salty things anymore. As a matter of fact, you'll taste them and they'll taste synthetic. They won't taste as good as they did. So give yourself some time, do yourself a favor, and challenge yourself. My good friend Christian took the challenge on about 2 weeks ago to go raw. And she has, in a matter of time, she's gotten off of medication in 2 weeks. As a matter of fact, she told us this before the 2-week mark. Her medication was dropped down. She has so much clarity in her mind. We have no idea how much what we consume affects our brain, gives us brain fog. It affects our mental, our functioning, all of those things. You would be amazed if you challenged yourself and ate really pure, what would happen? Okay, so I'm done with that. So tonight what we're having is we are going to have a curried chickpea salad. I'm a child of the diaspora. My mother was from Guyana. My father is from Liberia, West Africa. So curry, in particular with my mother, was something that literally we ate curry like 3 times a week. Curry, white rice were something that were always cooked in my home. So I've gotten away from eating it that frequently, but every now and then when I want to feel real cozy and I want to kind of reminisce of my mom's cooking, I use curry. And this evening, we are going to be using Afkave's quarantine curry. This was made in homage to my mother. And guess what? This evening, hopefully by the time this show ends, the discount will be applied. I am offering a discount of 50% on this spice tonight. Afkavefoods.com. Your code that you're going to use is RYH for Reclaiming Your Health. 50% off Afkave Foods. Let's get going. So the two key ingredients in this dish tonight are chickpeas. Okay? What's so great about chickpeas? Well, let me tell you, chickpeas are packed with nutrients, okay? I love chickpeas. I can literally eat them out the can. My husband's not that big on them, but he likes them when I prepare them like this. So they're packed with nutrients. They keep you full because they break down slower. Because they break down slower, they keep your insulin levels from spiking. So you stay satiated longer. They're rich in plant protein. Don't let anybody ask you where you're getting your protein from if you're plant-based. Literally every vegetable, every fruit, every legume has some level of protein in it. Now you may need to eat more, but you're not going to have a protein deficiency. The next thing is it helps you to manage your weight because again, it digests slower, so it satiates you longer. It supports your blood sugar regulation. Again, no spike. It benefits digestion, and last but not least, it promotes brain health. How does it do so? Because it has choline, which plays an important role in brain function. It is essential for the production of specific neurotransmitters. And it also has a hearty dose of magnesium, which is key for nerve functioning. And I will let you know that magnesium is so key because literally every cell in your body needs magnesium in it to let the nutrients and the vitamins and the minerals process through your body. So this is a great thing to have. This is such an easy recipe. Let me give you a breakdown. So we've got our chickpeas, where I just listed 7 reasons why we love that. We've got curry powder, which, come on, it's curry. I've got some pecans, some toasted pecans, which are great for brain health as well. We're going to use some lemon zest. We've got some carrots. Carrots are great. We've got some golden raisins that are going to add a little bit of sweetness. We've got some cilantro, which I love. It has this earthy herbalness to it, and it also is great for taking metals out of your body. And then we've got some veggies. We've got some celery and some scallion. And then tonight, we're going to pair this. We're going to do a collard green wrap. We're going to stuff it in some cucumber. And I've also got this wasa, which I love. I love wasa bread. I love to use this as my snack cracker in place of salty, super processed things. So let's get going. The first thing we're going to do is we're just going to drop this in our food processor. Now, I'm going to tell you now, you're likely going to need to double this recipe because it's going to go so quick. It is delicious. Sometimes I just have this on a plate with a slice of avocado. Delicious. So we're just going to pulse this. We don't want to make it mushy. We just want to break it down. We're going to want some whole pieces and some mushed pieces to give it some texture. Okay, so three pulses has done it. Of course, if you're not big on texture, you can do it a little more. I would suggest that you not leave them whole though. The reason is you want to get this flavor all the way through. And if you leave them whole, the flavor is going to coat it, but it's not going to get in it. And you know me, I love layers of flavor. So I love getting that in there. All right, so we've got our chickpeas in the bowl. Let's see how quickly this goes, right? So I'm going to put this aside. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do some scallions. I said a 1/4 cup of everything, and that's because I just want all this flavor in there. So I don't know if you all can see me. Let me move these things out the way. Let's do this. Here we go. All right. So I'm just thinly slicing these. We're doing about a 1/4 cup here. By all means, if you're a scallion lover, you can do more. I'm just going to drop that right in the bowl. All right. That's going right in the bowl. Next thing, we're going to do some celery. And I like to cut mine up just to make it a little bit more manageable. And I'm just going to cut it in little spears. That's one. Okay. And then again, I think I've showed you all, you know what, I need to do a class on cutting. Take your time. Sometimes I move a little faster because I have been trained in this, but don't feel the need to do that. Do what works for you. I don't want you hurting yourself. Just get it done. There's no, you don't have to do it speedy. You can also always use your food processor for this. I like not to because I feel like sometimes what happens is it pulverizes it. It gets a little too mushy. So there we go. We've got our 1/4 cup of our celery in there. Celery is great as well because celery has a saltiness to it. So instead of having to add salt, you can just add some celery. I'm using some shredded carrots here just to make this go faster. And I'm just going to go like this. Again, we've got flavor, we've got texture coming from this. I used to eat, I remember my mother telling me when I was a little girl, I loved carrots so much. I ate them all the time that the bottom of my feet turned orange. And I still love carrots. So when we talk about eating the rainbow, we're not only talking about what it does to your, in terms of nutrition, but just, this is going to be so beautiful by the time it's done. Okay, we've got the carrots in there. I'm going to use my cilantro. If you don't want to use cilantro, you can always use parsley. But I think with curry in particular, I think cilantro really pairs well with that flavor. And you can mince this if you want to. I just kind of roughly chop it because why? I love texture. And that's getting dropped in the bowl. You see how quickly we're moving along? The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use my raisins. These are some massive raisins. I got these raisins from Sprouts. They're like mutant. So I soak these a little bit in a little bit of warm water so that they chop up easily. And I want them to kind of melt into the chickpea salad. I don't want hard pieces of raisins in there. So that's why I do that. So just for about, if you get some hot water and you just pour it over your raisins for like 10 minutes or so, it'll give you exactly what you need. The other reason why I like to use raisins is because it adds a nice little bit of sweetness. Okay, in the past, when I was making something like this, I might use honey. If you want to use honey, that's fine. But we're getting not only the sweetness, but we're getting the nutrition from these raisins as well. That goes in the bowl. Then we've got let me rinse my hands. Then we've got our toasted pecans. These were sent to me by someone very near and dear to me, Thurston Crumpton. Sent us these, and they are delicious. Nuts play a big part in the plant-based life. Nuts and seeds. They give you that fat that's good for your body. It's a healthy fat. And I always like to tell people, even though it's healthy, you still need to be moderate. It doesn't mean that you can just eat nuts all day, but they are really great for your brain health. They're great for your digestion. They're great for colon health. That's going to be one of the next things we're going to talk about. All right, so we chop those up. Those are going in the bowl too. Okay, and I've chopped all those things. So I'm going to move this over to the board, and we're going to do some lemon zest. It just gives it a little bit of brightness, so that's why we're doing that. Now, when you zest your lemon, don't stay in one place too long, because if you get the pith, there's going to be a bitterness. So we don't want that. We literally just want the lemon zest, the lemon, the skin, the outer skin. And this is a big lemon, so I'm not going to do all of it. But let's see. All right. Now the last thing we need to do is our dressing. So I'm using Vegenaise. There are all types of Vegenaise. There's soy-free Vegenaise. There's grapeseed Vegenaise. There's the original. Whatever you like, you can use. If you make your own plant-based mayonnaise, use that as well. We just want to give it a little creaminess because we are making a salad that's going to go on things like bread, etc. So not only are you adding some fat to it, you're putting something that's going to help bind it together. That's the role that this plays. So I have got about, probably about a half a cup here. I'm going to use 2 tablespoons of my curry. Sometimes when people use curry, they will kind of fry it up, and I'm trying to find a better word, but there's a way to kind of awaken the curry. You want to, it kind of like gets all those flavors going when you just put a little bit of oil in a pan and you add some curry to it and you kind of toast it. But we're not doing that today because my curry doesn't need that. My curry is great right out the bottle. So if you see, we've got it mixed up now. It's a nice, beautiful yellow color. And turmeric is in here. There's a lot of yummy stuff in here, but turmeric is great for us as well. And there's a little black pepper in my curry mix. So we have got the activator for the curcumin that comes out of turmeric. If you remember, if you've been watching me for some time, the thing about turmeric is the curcumin. That is the antioxidant. It's great for fighting cancer. But to activate it, you've got to use a little bit of black pepper. So in my mix, I have a little bit of black pepper in there to really activate it and give you all this nutrition. So now you see everything is here. So we've got our chickpeas. I'm sorry, my nose is itching me. We've got our chickpeas, we've got carrots, we've got scallions, we've got cilantro, we've got pecans, we've got, what else do we have in here? We have some lemon zest. All of these things are in here. And now we're going to add this yummy mayo that has Afkave quarantine curry spice in it. We're just going to mix it around. And remember, we don't want to use too much mayo because this really is acting as a binder. And we've already got fat from our pecans. So, you know, it's healthy fat, but we still will watch our fat. We don't want to overdo it. I have not added any salt. Remember, we have celery in here that's going to kind of help us with the saltiness. The curry spice has got a little bit of salt in it. Here we go. Just that simple. So let me taste it. No added salt, and it's delicious. Now, you can feel free to add a little bit if you want to, but I'm not going to. So here are a few different ways that you can serve this. One of the ways, we've got some collard greens here. You can blanch your collard greens or you can leave them super, super raw like this. Let me show you what to do. We've got our stem. We're just going to cut the stem out, not all the way up, kind of like halfway up. You see that? All right. And we're going to do that with another one. So this right here requires 2 leaves. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring them together like this. See that? Let me show you how I did that. See, they're both cut. And then we bring them together in the center. Okay. We're going to take a little bit of this chickpea salad. It's going to go right in the center. You can add some avocado to this if you want to. That would be super yummy. I'm just going to fold it over and roll it like that. And you have got a delicious wrap. Now, you can always use a toothpick or something to keep it together. I like to wrap this in some wax paper And I just eat it like a burrito, just like this. So that's one way you can do that. The other thing you can do, I've got an English cucumber here. I'm going to take out the seeds in this English cucumber right over my sink. And I'm going to fill this boat with this yummy salad. This is a great you want to talk about snack food? Put those Doritos down and eat this. It's crunchy. What's great about using this cucumber as well, if you're somebody who struggles with getting in water, guess what? When you eat a cucumber, you're actually getting in some of your water intake for the day. So you've got this super delicious little cucumber boat stuffed with this chickpea salad. All right, so that's number 2. We've got number 1 here. We've got number 2. And last but not least, if you would like, you can always just put it on a cracker. Love these. If there's a cracker that I'm going to eat, it's going to be a Wassa. And again, this could be yummy just like this. Or instead of like your avocado toast in the morning, you just put this on there. You can still use your avocado if you want to, but you don't have to. And I'm telling you, 2 of these, 3 of these if you're somebody who likes a hearty breakfast. There you go. Actually, there's 4 ways. You can just eat it by itself, like I said sometimes, how I do. Straight out the bowl. That is delicious. Those golden raisins really make a difference. So, folks, that is your easy, breezy, delicious African diaspora, Caribbean-inspired chickpea salad. Chickpeas, pecans, scallions, cilantro, celery, carrots. What else is in there? Some lemon zest, veggies, and Afkave's quarantine curry, 50% off. Code RYH for reclaiming your health. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. I'll see you all next week. Bye.